How to use social media to build an email subscriber list. Have you heard the old saying, the money is in the list? Well, it comes from the fact that digital marketers know that building an email subscriber list is one of the most profitable things that we can do. Why is that? It's because we can send emails to our subscribers every single day, day after day, and build and nurture our relationship. So if we run an ad or if we have a post on our website or any other interaction, oftentimes we get one opportunity to make an impression. And then if we don't make an impression and get the person to buy or make a purchase with us or do business with us, we've lost them. And so if that doesn't hook them, they're sort of gone until we market to them again. So if we run ads, we need to do it over and over again. If we're running a website, we need to hope that they keep coming back to visit. But with an email list, it works a little differently because once they've signed up on our list, we have permission to send them messages over and over and over again. And so we can have that repeated contact. And study after study shows that it requires multiple contacts to be able to turn a prospect from cold into warm and then into eventually a customer. And so what better way to do that than through an email system where the cost is relatively low to continue to market and reach out to them. And at the same time, we can have a one-to-one relationship. Because even though we might have a big list, we write to one person when we're actually constructing our emails. So it's like a one-to-one relationship with whoever we're talking to. And so we can offer our products, our links, our services, and even affiliate links and affiliate products in our emails as well. And that's how we can actually monetize our list in addition to building and nurturing relationships with our subscribers. Because every single mail we send out, we have an opportunity to include links to something that when purchased either make us revenue because there are products and services, or if they're affiliate products, then we get paid a commission. So our list is actually a sales and revenue generating asset. The better your list and the better your relationship is with your subscribers, the higher the open rate and click rates that we're going to get. And that means more sales and profits. So obviously a big list is nice, but more importantly is to have a list where we have a really good relationship with all of our subscribers, because when we have that, we have the ability to reach out to them again and again, know that they're going to open our emails and they're going to take our advice for products and services we recommend. So it makes sense. And it also makes sense why everyone doing anything online in terms of marketing should always be building a list. So the question becomes, how do we actually build a list? If we know that we want to do it, but we're not really sure how we're going to get our prospects and get people to sign up, how are we going to be able to do it? I mean, people are already getting too much email. So, we need to get a little bit more creative to make it work. It's not a matter of people come to our website and just sign up for our newsletter. I mean, that could work, but in general, the challenge with that is people are already getting too much email. So we might need to get a little bit more creative and look at every single avenue that we can explore, because each one can add to the benefit and our ability to build a list faster. So let's talk about 12 different ways that we can use social media to build a subscriber list. As a digital marketer, we can effectively use social media to build our list through a lot of different strategies. The first thing that we want to do is we do want to create what's called a lead magnet, and we want this to be compelling. So the lead magnet is basically just something that we're going to give to subscribers as an incentive for signing up. You've seen these: get our free ebook, get our free report, get our free coaching call, whatever it is. There's something free in exchange for your email, because just signing up for an email newsletter is not really going to incentivize people to get excited about it. If we have a free guide that can help people out, where it might only be 6 or 7 pages of PDF or whatever, but the fact is, if it gives them valuable information, and in the lead magnet, what we generally do is we attract our target audience by telling them what to do. So we don't give them the actual steps or how to do anything, but we tell them what to do to get the result that they want. That sort of whets their appetite. It gives them a little bit of value, and it lets them know that, hey, we know what we're doing, and we have more where that came from. So if you want all the steps, we're going to be able to show you that too. So we want to create some kind of compelling lead magnet. It has to be something that our audience would really want. This can be an ebook, it can be a guide, it can be templates, it could be exclusive offers. And the idea is that we're going to be able to put that on social media and post it because it's free and say, hey, come download our free guide, come download, this, come get access to that. And because social media is, a medium for sharing information and being able to post and engage, then the idea is that will drive people to our actual page where they sign up and they get it. And so in exchange for the email. So that's the old opt-in page or lead magnet. And that is the first step. So that's something that's probably familiar to a lot of people. And it's something that certainly we've all used in terms of being a customer on the other side of that where we've signed up for it. The second thing that we want to do is optimize our social media profiles. This is something that actually gets overlooked in a lot of cases. What we want to do is include clear calls to action and links to our email sign-up page in our bio or our about sections on all the platforms. So we need to learn what the rules are. Various platforms have various different ideas and different rules for what we're allowed to post and what we're not. But a lot of them will let us put links in for various things. And so if we have a free guide, if we have a URL or a website link that we can put in, and we're allowed to add that to our bio or our signature or wherever else, we want to put that in there because we want people to know, hey, download our free guide, how to get X result in, Y time or whatever it is. So they'll click through and they'll get it. A lot of people are going to look at our bio if they're new to us. And so while we could post it as a regular post, the benefit of putting it on the bio is that a lot of people, when they come across your page or your profiles, will want to know more about you. So they'll look up your bio, and when they see the link there, if they're interested in what they see, they're more likely to click through. So it just gives us another touch point. It gives us another entry point to drive people to that funnel and get people to opt in and become our subscriber. Third thing that we can do is to share relevant content regularly. Posting is hard. Posting content's hard because we want to always be posting, and it needs to be frequent enough. One stellar post once a month is not going to get you nearly the same results as having a number of middle-of-the-road posts, but doing them every single day. The key to content posting and content marketing is to do it regularly. We never know what piece of content is going to resonate with what segment of the audience. We never know how many people are going to click or share or like or sign up based on any one particular piece of content. What we do know is by posting regularly, there's multiple benefits that we get from that. Because number one, if every one of them is a call to action or a lead magnet, first of all, those things exist usually forever online. So we never know when someone might find a piece that we posted a year ago, sign up and end up becoming a subscriber. We never know. By having more of it out there, we're better off. But the other part about that is that the more pieces of content we get out there, the more data we start to collect in analytics in terms of what's working. So certain types of posts, certain types of content we're going to put out aren't going to get much of a response. People aren't really going to click through. They're not going to engage. They're not going to be excited about it. Other stuff we're going to post, we're going to get a lot better engagement. We're going to get sharing. We're going to get clicks. We're going to get likes. So for those, what we want to do is track that and look for the patterns. So what we can do over time is start to refine our content strategy so we start to post more and more of the stuff that people really like. That's a really powerful strategy. And every single time on every single post, we need to have a link to our lead magnet or our email newsletter and post content that's obviously somewhat related to it. I mean, if we start talking about automotive things and we have a link to our opt-in for dog training, there's not really a lot of synergy there. So obviously the content we want to create has to be connected to the market that we're trying to reach. If we do that and we do it effectively, then we have the opportunity to be able to get people interested. They can see that we're a subject matter expert or they like our point of view on something. So then they say, okay, you know what? Let me give this a shot. I want to get this guide and see what that might have to be able to help me. So that's another great way to encourage subscriptions. And we just need to think through what our strategy is going to be so we always have new content to post. And we can start with a few different types and then expand that out and then junk the ones that aren't getting us any results. The fourth thing we want to do, and this sometimes seems obvious, but a lot of people don't do it, is use strong calls to action in our captions. So in our captions, in our posts, we always want to make sure that we write clear, compelling captions that explain the benefits of joining our email list and what they're going to get for free, and that guide users on how to sign up. Even on order pages, I see this all the time when people have an offer that they're promoting. They'll put up an order page, they'll create a sales page, and there isn't any call to action that tells the person to click. The assumption is that, well, look, if you're on my page, you're interested in what I have to offer, of course you're going to click through, of course you're going to buy, and you're going to check out. You'd be surprised. The actual conversion rate multiplies by a multiple when we actually give people step-by-step instructions. Some marketers have gone as far as making a little walkthrough video of how to fill out the actual order form in order to be able to get people to fill it out and make sure they don't make mistakes and they don't miss somebody because they weren't able to fill it out properly. And so even with a lead magnet, even with trying to build a subscriber list, the idea is the same. Click on this link to download our free guide. You want very clear instructions, and we don't want to be sort of doing it by inference, hoping that just by putting it there, someone might click the link. Tell them to click the link, tell them what action we want them to take. That's a really important step in terms of getting results for what we're trying to do. The fifth thing that we can do is to leverage clickable links. So again, each platform has its own rules. This may take a little bit to sort of ferret out for each of the platforms. You have to read what they allow, what they don't. Some platforms will automatically hyperlink any links that we put in. If we put it in the bio or stories or in posts, other platforms don't do hyperlinks. And so we need to know what those are. And we need to know the best way to advise people in terms of doing it. So in terms of an overall social media strategy, if we don't already have sort of followings, active followings on all the platforms, it's advisable to actually start with just one or maybe two platforms, master them, and then expand out. The general thought from a lot of people is that, well, geez, if what I do is I make profiles on every single social media, well, one of them's got to work. Actually, the opposite is true. If we don't optimize how we're posting, if we don't optimize how our social media profiles are set up, and we don't optimize the way that we're operating on those platforms, each one is a very different and specific way that it operates. In addition to that, the audience is different on each, right? If we want a younger audience, then TikTok or Pinterest might be the right way to go. If we want a more visual audience, we want to go Instagram, long form video, YouTube, conversation or community, Facebook. So they all have their pros and cons. It doesn't mean you can't build a following somewhere else or grow a list on another platform. But it's smartest to start where your own target market hangs out the most and then work your way out from there to add additional platforms as we go. And we want to make sure that anywhere and everywhere we're allowed to use clickable links, we do it. So bio links, story links, in-post links, wherever we can direct followers to that email capture landing page, that is the number one place we want to send people. Now, I want to clear up one other quick thing too. A question that I hear a lot from entrepreneurs and business owners is, okay, well, I have a website, but then I have this lead capture thing. Shouldn't I be driving people to my website instead? No. Actually, in most cases, we don't want to do that. If we have a lead capture page, it has a very simple, singular call to action. Click here, download this, input your email address, boom, that's it. The problem with sending people to a website is, while it serves as a hub for all of our stuff, the problem with it is it confuses people because there's not a clear call to action. There's 10 or 12 different actions people can take. Oftentimes what happens is people hit our website, they browse around, then they click away. So what you'll find is on your website itself, usually opt-in rates and conversion rates and things are very low, maybe a couple of percent. From a targeted lead capture page, we can do 25, 30, 40, 50, sometimes even 60% or more, where 1 out of every 2 people that are hitting that page are signing up. So it's a far, far better play to drive people to that. Remember that once they're on our list, we have the ability to market to them over and over again. We can obviously put links to our website, our products, our services, and everything else in the footers or in the message bodies there, but we have an opportunity to reach out to them again and again, so it's okay. If we only get one shot, we want to make it count by putting them on a lead capture page where we can make them a subscriber and start to build that relationship. The sixth thing we could do is host contests and giveaways. Now, one pushback or one thing I always hear with this is, well, okay, but I don't want to give away prizes or money, or, I can't afford to do that. It doesn't need to be things that actually have a high monetary value, just a high perceived value. A contest could be, I'm looking for a new name for the community, or I want a new name for this, or the greatest post or takeaway from this particular training that I did, or whatever it is, and you make it into a contest to make it fun. A giveaway is a similar thing, but the way that we run it is we run it with a prize that's something that we can give away that has low value to us monetarily, but high perceived value to our target audience. So a free coaching call, we can give away a couple of free coaching calls. That's beneficial in a number of ways. Not only do we have something to give away for free, but also now we have an opportunity to even deepen our relationship with the people that win the calls. And if we have a high ticket offer that we want to run into later, we have the ability to pre-sell them on that as well. And so it's a win-win all the way around. We could give away a video version or a walkthrough version of our lead magnet. There's 100 different ways. It's just a matter about being creative. It's not about trying to give away necessarily something of high intrinsic value like that. But when we do that, it makes it fun and it gets people to want to subscribe to our email list. You set it up so they have to do that in order to qualify. And then once they post or once they subscribe or whatever, they're put into the drawing for it, or they're eligible to win when they make a comment. And so that is a great way to do it as well. Seventh thing we can do is tease exclusive content. This is coming out. People that are on the subscriber list, our insider list, is going to get advanced access, sneak peeks, and everything else. That makes people want to sign up if they're interested in our products and services, because they're going to find out before everybody else. That exclusivity goes a long way in terms of getting people to want to sign up. An eighth thing that we could do is conduct live Q&A sessions or webinars. So we can drive people from an email list and say, listen, we're going to be running a live Q&A. We're going to answer all your questions about whatever the topic is. So if you're an expert in a particular subject matter, that's where you're trying to build your list. And you also want to be able to show people, hey, I'm an expert at this, because that's going to get them to trust you and want to do business and want your products and services. What better way to do that than with a short live Q&A session or webinar where people sign up, you still get their email address, and then you get them live on the call and you can answer questions. They can submit them in advance. You can come in with pre-submitted questions or questions you've already thought up. So that way, if people don't ask a lot, you have some content to cover. And you can host engaging live events on social media or on any webinar platform and encourage attendees to subscribe for the follow-up materials or additional resources as well. So even if they didn't need to sign up, anyone on the call, if you want to put them in like an inner circle, you can give them something extra if they go and they join this particular list. A ninth thing we can do is collaborate with influencers. Now, we don't need the ones that are household names. Obviously, they're going to be really hard to reach if we're a small player in the market. But there are micro influencers out there that have every singular target market, on a string for them. They've got a following, and it might only be 500 or 1,000 or 10,000 people as opposed to millions. But if those people are all in your target market and inherently trust the influencer, that influencer is going to give you a really good deal because they don't have a massive following yet. They're not going to be able to charge ridiculous prices. And at the same time, they're going to be able to get you tremendous amount of attention to your offers if you can get them to promote it. So it makes sense to reach out to niche influencers for cross promotions to expand our reach. 10th option is to use paid advertising. We can boost posts that seem to be working, that are getting traction anyway organically. We can also run some specific ads. I, in general, would lean away from the ads initially. I would only boost posts that we do that already get some engagement. Because if we know that they resonate, chances are we'll get a lot more, traction with that once we start to boost those posts and we get more and more people to our page. An 11th thing we could do is engage with our audience. Respond to comments and messages. So when we're in social media, make it two-way communication. Foster that sense of community and encourage trust, increase the likelihood of subscriptions. If we're posting stuff and they like it and they start to respond and then they just fall on deaf ears and they never hear from us, they don't know if we're for real. They don't know if we're really interested in engaging. They don't know how much we care about them. When we start responding back, it makes them feel special, makes them feel valued and understand that they matter to us. And that is going to go a long way to build that trust and get them to want to join our list and be a part of what we have to offer. And the 12th thing we can do is cross-promote across platforms. Promote our email list across all the social media channels to maximize visibility and reach. Now again, as I mentioned, I would start with one or two, but after we get those up and running, then we want to expand it out. And so we can reach everyone across all the platforms in case they don't hang out on the platforms we use the most. By implementing these strategies consistently and adapting them based on our performance, we can effectively leverage social media to grow our email subscriber list and ultimately strengthen our digital marketing efforts because we're going to be able to make more and sell more. So the takeaway here is that some people think email marketing is old school or dying, but the fact is it flat out works. It's far more effective as a selling tool, in fact, than social media is because social media is designed to be entertainment and email is designed to be transactional. If we start by understanding who our target market is, then offer them something of value to join our list, social media can be a great way to get our message out and add new subscribers at a very low cost or no cost at all. Every digital marketer or anyone trying to make sales or money online should always be building a list. It does take time, but the payoff can be worth it for years to come.